Ala, yikes. Sorry. Hi, I'd like to show you now the garden and how nurture started. All right? Yeah. So, if you see that building over there, actually, that's how nurture started. Here's the nurture story. So, 23 years ago, actually mga 25, I was in a really bad spot, okay? My marriage had collapsed and I was really feeling really down and depressed. And the kids were small, very young, 9 and 4. And it's like, how does one survive such a crisis? As a Filipina, you just have one dream, to have a happy family, diba? And that was just my one big dream. Unfortunately, it collapsed. So I drove up to Tagaytay to find solace. I'd go to the Pink Sisters to pray. And then, when I drive down, we were living in Manila at that time, I would go to the spa. At that time, there's a spa in Libis. And then the jacuzzi there, I would cry. So sabi kong ganun, one time, going up to Tagaytay. Sabi ko, ang ganda sana kung meron place where you have the quiet of a convent. At the same time, you have a massage. So, that's how the concept of nurture first started. So I drove around with my best friend at the time, si Anna. And wala akong pera how to start. But buti na lang, I was working. So I had money from my company. I was doing consultancy at the time. I had some money left from my consultancy, and that's what I used. And I had $1 million to start everything. And what happened? Driving around, I met Mang Pino, and he was this little man. And wala lang, I asked him, magkano ba dito? My dream was to have something by the ridge, pero sobrang mahal, impossible. So I went to the back and asked Mang Pino, Mang Pino, magkano ba ang mga lupa dito? And he really gave a very reasonable figure. Nga lang, hindi ko din kaya. So pumirit ako. I said, pwede bang 2 years to pay? Sabi niya, pwede po. I'm like, oh my God. Pumayag siya. What do I do now? Where do I get the money? Right? Pero God is good. God is really good. So I started with a tiny little place. Okay, you see that building over there? At the back was a tiny little building. Okay, super small. Concept was, sa bottom was going to be a restaurant. Okay, Mala Sonia's Garden. Alright? Maliit lang. And on top would be a place where I could sleep. Yung ganon. And then, the bottom of the garden, this house, was where I was going to put a spa. At that time, I knew nothing about spas, alright? And then, yung concept is, right here in the middle, where the swimming pool is, was going to be a pond shaped like mother and child, with the rosary around it. So, nag-start na ako. And then, tinakbuhan ako ng contractor. Ay. He built the pond na sobrang deep. He spent all of the money on the pond, which looked more like a swimming pool. All I wanted was a little cute little pond, right? And one day he just disappeared. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I have no money. I can't move forward. I can't move backwards. What do I do? So what did I do? I prayed. It's like, hey, hey, help. I need help badly. What do I do? How do I get out of here? So this place looked like a wreck, all right? And at that time, I had joined a group called Hash House Harriers, and it's a group of expats who run and have socials after drinking. And at that time, I was having joint custody of the kids. And when they weren't with me, I would be so depressed. And so I'm like, this is not good. I have to go out and meet new people. Because, in the Philippines, it's so true. When you are separated, you are condemned. You have no friends. You are such an evil woman. And I had to get out of that thinking. I have new friends who would help build me up, yeah? So anyway, I joined the Hash House Harriers, and it was great because nobody cared. Nobody cared about my background. Nobody cared what I did. Nobody cared. Everybody was just running. I enjoyed running with them out of town because you learn new places. So I told them, volunteer ko, hey, I have this place I'm starting in Tagaytay. We can have an out-of-town hash there. Thinking na matatapos si Nurture. Yung problema, tinakbuhan nga ako ng contractor. So, I said, tuloy na, no? What happened was they came, and yun, that's where angels started to come into my life, right? I met Mike. He's gonna flip when he hears this because he's so modest, right? But frankly, he is like God sent, okay? Allah. Yikes. Anyway, he came with a hash, and this place, unfinished. This, I just wanted two buildings, but both unfinished. The pond was unfinished. Everything was bad. And then the hash came there running and said, "What are you trying to do here?" Mike asked me. I didn't know him really. I said, "Well, I just wanted a place where women could run to and have a massage, a nice, safe place where people could eat without being judged, etc., etc." And then he said, "This place doesn't look like a place." I said, "I know, but I'm in deep trouble because the contractor left and I'm stuck. What do I do?" And he said, "Okay, maybe I can help." But he said, "What's your business plan?" And I said, "What's a business plan?" Okay. I just built it out of a vision, out of a dream. So I said, "Okay, let's sit down. Let me help you put together some sort of a business plan. Let's do a plan." So there, my first angel, si Mike. And then, slowly, nurture came together because the second angel came to my life. I met Willie Requiestas, the architect. What happened there was, I was driving around. I was going to pick up the kids where they were staying in our old house. And this is nice house with a beautiful fence, nice paint. So I walked in. I said, "Sino po ang architect dito?" Sabi niya, "Si Sir Willie po." Tanong phone number niya. Sige, ito po. So I called Willie and I said, "I have a dream. Okay. Can you help me put it together?" He said, "What's your budget?" I said, "I have no budget actually." And he was like, "What the heck?" At that time, I had a friend who was renovating her house. Okay. So she was a rich lady, big house in Alabang. And I said, "Okay, can I buy your windows and your doors?" And she gave it for really cheap, no? So sabi niya ganon, "Sure." So I brought the windows and doors here, and then I brought Willie here. I said, "Willie, can you put this together into a house?" He thought I was crazy. Next question was, sino yung contractor ko? So I asked my kumpare, si Danny, and he said, "Sige Mare, tulungan kita." So that was how the first nurture was born. Out of old doors, old windows, which are still there. And then the third angel came into my life. Okay, fourth na pala. Si Lynette Villarriba of Inquirer. She was visiting her friend here. And then, sabi niya, "What's that thing coming up? Looks interesting." Reporter kasi siya eh. So it looks like this Balinese spas, which I read about. At that time, walang spa talaga dito sa Pilipinas. And Bali was very famous for its spas. So she came and said, "This looks very interesting." And at that point, nurture was coming together na. And then Lynette, sige, let me feature. She featured us one page. It's like, oh my God, one page, right? And then ABS-CBN at the time, featured us. And then Inquirer came back with 2 full pages. Like, oh my gosh. And then at the time, we were only 4. So we had to really beef up our reservations, etc., etc. Our guys became really good because you know what, frankly, you give people a chance, they're so creative that they're so magaling. So our team started to grow. So what have I learned from all of this, from going up and down? As an entrepreneur, your key word is bounce. You cannot fall flat on your face, or even if you do fall flat on your face, you feel sorry for yourself for a while, but you have to get up. Why? Because people are counting on you. Pre-COVID, with 130 people, how can we just walk away? They're from the barangay. They're counting on us to feed their families, right? So we cannot walk away. So you have to bounce and bounce and bounce and learn. I love this job because it's very meaningful in so many levels, because it's a story of resilience. You just have to get up.